Well, hello, everybody. How are you? Guess what, y'all? It is Work with Me Wednesday. So I wanted to come on quickly tonight, just to share a few things about who I am because it's a new year, new people. We're meeting new people. We're getting out there, and I know you've probably been saying, "Who is this girl?" Well, I wanted to jump on. My name is Deborah Franklin, or Coach Deborah, as they like to call me. I am a visibility coach. And you're probably saying, what is a visibility coach? What do you do? Well, I help high achieving Christian women to develop their stories to increase their VIP status, which means VIP stands for visibility, influence, and profits. And with that, I work with you on your media coaching, which means I help you to let's say hone in on your interviewing skills. How do you get the interview? How do you handle the interview? What do you say while you're being interviewed? And to help you develop, what is your why for even getting out there, to know why you want to be in that space of being interviewed on multiple platforms? Do you have a ministry? Do you have a book? Are you a speaker? Are you a coach? What are you being interviewed and why? What do you want to accomplish? So I'm giving you a tip right now as you begin to think about, and in this beginning of this new year, what do you want to do, or why do you want to increase your visibility? I know the first thing that comes to mind is, I want everybody to buy my book because I want to make some money. If money is your main reason for visibility, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. You have to have a passion for this. You have to want to go in and jump in and do this because you're passionate about what you're talking about and what you're doing. And that helps you when you are talking about your why, talking about your product, talking about your service, because you know your why. People believe you when you are passionate about what you're doing. And that's part of what we do when I help you in media coaching. We talk about, how do you get on these different platforms? How do you sit? How do you talk? How do you not answer, or to answer those hard questions? And figuring out, how do you want to answer those questions? Because a lot of times, I'll never forget, somebody said, well, I'll just wing it. I'll get in there and I'll just wing it. And I'm like, really? And when I showed them, I'm like, so are you ready to answer this? Are you ready to answer that? I said, you want to be called back, because the key, especially when you are an expert in your field, is to get those callbacks, to be that one. You are that go-to person. They don't even have to, I'm gonna use the old school term, they don't have to go through their Rolodex to look for somebody, because they already know that you are that person. They know that when they send you the email, not only will you respond quickly, but you'll also show up and give quality information to their audience. You will show up as your authentic self. You will have the knowledge, you will have the skills, you will be prepared. And those are some things that we talk about and we discuss, and I help to prepare you for that next step of getting into media. Because a lot of times you excuse me, a lot of times I'm usually the person that you come to after you've done everything else, and you're trying to figure out, why didn't I call me back, or why are my interviews like this? Let's snap that thing head on now. Let's get out and start talking about what that looks like when you have a media coach. And that is what I do. I help you to develop those skills. And some of the other things that we work with, we also work with podcasters to increase their viewership, to increase what their podcast looks like. Do they have a background? What should their background look like? What kind of lighting? What kind of mic? Those are some of the basic things, but we also talk about how to book those guests, how to lay out your show, and then what do you do if you decide to do a live audience? Yeah, we talk about all of that too. So I also look at, maybe you've done all of these things, but now you're wondering, what's happening when I go to speak, but I don't have what I need. Well, you probably need to go ahead and write your book as well, because having a book also makes you an expert in your field. It gives you that tangible piece of information in order for them to be able to see. Because a lot of times they'll hear you speak, they'll see you show up on these different platforms, but what are you going to leave with them? What can they use when they can't get to you personally? What can they use to talk to you. Hello, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not sure who you are because I don't see your name. Um, you want to make sure that you have something for them to be able to take away with them. And I always tell my speakers, especially when they go out to speak, believe it, people want to hear you speak, but they also want to have something tangible in their hands when you leave. So we actually have a formula for you to develop that book, develop that, that story of how you can take that next step. And then when you increase that visibility, y'all, the profits will come. And when you do that, and you are passionate about it, and you're showing up, and you're telling people about what you're doing, now you have multiple streams of income. And if you know, like me, this is the time, y'all, we need multiple streams of income. It's like just having that day to day, that quote unquote 9 to 5, is just not enough for you to live the lifestyle that you would want to live. And then some of you also have a voice that needs to be heard. No, not some of you. All of you have a voice that needs to be heard. You have been sitting stagnant for too long. You have been sitting in the closet for too long. You have been sitting on the sidelines too long. You have probably been the cheerleader too long. It is time for you to be the quarterback and start throwing the plays, call the plays. You have been there, and it's time for the world to know who you are, whose you are, and how you do what you do. So you have to start showing up. Thank you, Amy. You have got to start showing up to the people, for the people, and giving them tangible things to walk away with. Because just because you can speak and say the words properly, but what are they going to do? How can they remember you? What do you have to let them know that you are that person? You are that go-to person. Yes, your story matters. Yes, your story matters, because your story has the power to set so many people free. And then I'm not just even talking about free spiritually. It could be free spiritually, mentally, in their business. They may need to even hear how you failed so many times, but then all of a sudden, that next project that you did, because you didn't give up, they need to hear that story of the tenacity and endurance that you have. You talk about it all the time. And when you give them a 30 minutes to 45 minutes, even a 60-minute talk, you cannot encapsulate everything that you have in that time frame. Think about if you had that book to go along with that talk or that interview, you're able to go into a deeper dive, and people are really able to see the transparency of what you're doing. And then when they know your story, to be honest with you, they're more apt to become your customer or your client, or to book you for another event. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you, you need to work with me to help you increase your visibility as well as your influence. Because this year we are talking about everything that we are doing is all about, how can I say this? It's all about shattering that stereotype, shattering those disbeliefs, shattering that, how can I say it? Shattering that thing that's holding you back. Because last night we talked about no is a complete sentence, but we also talked about how you've been telling yourself no for so long that now you don't even know what to do. It makes you relatable. Absolutely. It makes you relatable, because when you are relatable, you're able to go into rooms that nobody else would be able to go to. You're able to show up like in nobody else. You're able to be that person that they have called, that they need, because they're able to relate to what you're doing. They're able to see more in depth about it. And when you are relatable, people like, oh, if she can do it, or if he can do it, I can do it. And that's where you want to be when you are starting out on this journey. You want to be able to, you can't just tell somebody what to do. I'm just going to be honest with you. You can say it all day long. You can do it all day long. But if you can't show them, you know how they say that, show me Show me what you're talking about. Show me what you're working with. They want to know what you're working with. They want to know, how did you get to this point? They want to know, how did you start this, and what did you do that made you different from someone else? And that's what we discuss when we are in those sessions. We talk about what makes you different. We talk about your raison d'etre, and that is your reason for being. We talk about all of that during the sessions that you have. And I'm here for you, whatever you have going on, because again, it is Work With Me Wednesday. I want you to schedule look, let's chat. We can chat one-on-one. We can get together and talk about what we got going on, how we can be of service to you. I'm going to put the link in the chat to reach out to me. I'll also go back and put it in, well, probably just check out the chat, the link to get on my calendar. Let's talk. Let's get some things together. Let's iron it out. Let's see how we can work together to take what you're doing to that next level, in order for you to live that VIP or luxury lifestyle that you desire. Because when you start to increase your visibility, increase your influence, you will definitely increase your profits. And when we increase our profits, we're able to do more. Now, you may consider a luxury lifestyle just being able to go to any restaurant that you want to go to and not have to worry about looking at the checking account. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we check the app on the phone real quick. Okay, I can do this today. You be looking, okay, I can order this, I can order that. Okay, don't act like you ain't been there. But that's what we do. But think about if you had that extra stream and you knew that was coming in, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Going to whatever restaurant, maybe even going on vacation, you can even look at what you're doing in certain boxes as how you're going to live that lifestyle that you so desire. So guys, it's time to shake it off. It's time to get up. It's time to put some things in motion, because the Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. You got to put the work in order to see the results. It's time for you to put the work in and show up and do what you've been called to do. It's time for you to be that magnificent person that you are, but everybody else, is time for them to see it as well. Well, all right, guys, if you got any questions, feel free to leave your information in the chat, inbox me, DM me. I will get back to you. I'm looking so forward to working with you. I'm going to be having some live events here in Atlanta. Just as FYI, you're the first to know that April 15th, we're going to be having a live event here in Atlanta. Yes, I'm going to get more information coming on that. I'm just dropping it out there so you know what's going on. But I want to hear from you. Go ahead, use the link that's in the chat. Schedule a time. Let's talk, because today is what Work With Me Wednesday. Schedule that time. Let's talk about how we can increase your influence and accelerate what you're doing to go to that next level, because it's all about you. It's all about you doing you in 23. 23 is going to be the year of you to be exposed to the world, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. You are getting ready to set these airways on fire, set these internet streets. Every time you go out, they're going to be like, yep, there she go, there she go, there she go. But all right, guys, I love you to life. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I got to go because, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I gotta go because I got a class to teach in a few minutes, and that's what we do. We're gonna keep busy, and I want, again, use that link, schedule a time to call, and we'll get ready so we can increase your VIP status. All right, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one, guys. Have good luck. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a good one. Peace.